Well, I was just gonna have, the ordinary day, breakfast before work, when I see this message about Charlie Kirk being shot somewhere in the neck area. Now, my prayers are for him, I can guarantee you that. And let's just say I'm in New Zealand, people, and I feel the shock, okay? And normally I don't even want to post videos like this. I'm just trying to, live my life, if that makes any sense in this day society. But the point is, I did feel like Jesus wanted me to make a video about this, just a brief one, as brief as I can make it. Because here's the thing, guys. God, give me the wisdom to say this. If you hear that, that's a machine working, so I'll try to be audible about this. Jesus. It really goes back to what the Bible talks about the powers of good and the powers of evil. You know the saying, good always triumphs. Well, if it's active, yes. If it's not active, if it doesn't stand its ground, then evil will triumph, right? But let's focus, like in this whole whirlpool of political back and forth, I think it's important to see, what did Jesus say? Like, if there was any tip I would give you guys if you see this video, go to what Jesus said. Because essentially it's like, those are eyewitnesses' recordings of what he said. Now, okay, there weren't guns involved back in those days, but there were a lot of stabbings involved. I think we should, be aware of that. It was under Roman occupation. The Romans tried to, how do you say it? Bring Israel into the Roman Empire, and they weren't very happy with that. So, there were the zealots, there were the religious fanatics even, who were so done with the Roman occupation and the way they saw the Romans treating their people. Etc., etc. So there was a lot of stabbings involved. If there were guns back in those days, you would see a lot more gun violence, let me put it that way. But here's the thing. Jesus' words still stand. Because whether you use a knife, whether you use a gun, whether you use a club, whether you use whatever, anything that is a tool can be used to, But in all the chaos, in all the noise, now is a good time to go back to what Jesus says. And I say says because his words still stand. And I believe he is alive. I believe he rose again from the dead. Okay? Call me stupid, call me a nutter. I don't care. Okay? I'm just here to deliver a message. So go back to what Jesus said. That would be my point. Because the first thing that the enemy would want us to do is to panic and react. If he can get us to react, well, that's how we get played. But if we feel the anger, feel the frustration, feel the shock, by all means, but then give it to Jesus and ask him, what do we do with this? Like, pray for Charlie Kirk, but also pray for those that have seen it and all that are present, and pray for yourself as well. What are you going to do with this shock? What are you going to do with this knowledge that, well, it's not that safe to speak your mind because you can get shot? Here's the thing, people. All who are in Christ, even if they die, they shall live. They have no fear of death. Like, sure, death can come to them, and it will come to them, whether it's by natural means or, by other people's means. But the fear of death has passed over, because in those who are in Christ, there's no condemnation after death. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about, excuse me, or what that means exactly. That's another video altogether. But for here and now, about Charlie Kirk, don't let this get into reactions. Don't react to who you think did it, like whether it was this political party, whether it was that political party, because as in everything in this world, if there's one group there's always a mixed bag. So whether you, in your case, people, you Americans, whether you say Republican or Democratic, right wing, left wing, yada yada yada, there's mixed trees in the midst, shall we say. There's extremists on both sides. I'm not going to go into the political field right now because that is, like I said, that's the whole back and forth, back and forth. No, stop that game. It's a devil's game, if you will. And, well, guess what? Nobody makes you to play it. You choose to play with it. And it's important. Like, I get it. It's affecting the country. It's affecting people around you. But Jesus says, focus on me. Don't be conformed to the patterns of the world. But may your mind get your mind to be transformed. You get transformed by the renewal of your mind. Okay. Jesus saw this coming. Jesus knew this was going to happen regarding Charlie Kirk, and he knows what's going to happen because of this. But he's also just telling us what to do if we're just willing to listen. So go into that private spot, go into your locker or wardrobe or whatever it is, the private, quiet area, and pray. Seek Jesus. Ask him what would he do if he saw this happening, or better yet, what would he do if he was the one that got shot? Well, guess what? He got crucified. And what did he say? Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's not him saying, I condone what you're doing to me. I condone you crucify me, whipping my flesh off, getting me to dry up, hanging my weight on my penetrated wrists and feet. No, he didn't condone those actions, but he still said, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. We don't fight evil with evil, people. And I know you're looking at me like, hey, you're a bloke from New Zealand all the way down under. What do you know of our politics or whatever? How I know? Doesn't matter. I mean, God sees everything anyway. Okay? And it's really not that difficult to imagine being in that situation if you just pay attention. Okay? And by being in that situation, meaning, how do I even explain this? Actually, I'm not going to try to explain myself right now. I just want to be there, guys. I just want to just give some feedbacks. Just give some idea of what to do. And the idea would be, don't play the game of hating on that person or hating on that political party or hating on that, because then you're going to throw hate to hate to hate to hate. It's going to pile up until eventually it starts collapsing down. So, no, don't condone these type of actions. Stand your ground, but do so prayerfully and seeking the Lord, because, hey, he's there fighting for us as well. But sometimes if we take things in our own hands, he goes, okay, if you want to take it in your own hands, go ahead. I'm not going to impose myself on you. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to take it up for your sake, but if you want to take it on yourself, go ahead. And how often do you think that's going to go well? Well, never. That's how civil wars start. That's how other conflicts arise. That's how hatred goes hard against hard against hard, until eventually this is like, what are we doing? Well, what are you doing? You're not seeking Jesus, that's for sure. So, yeah. I hope that helps, guys. I feel for you. I've never wished for the States, for America to be in this predicament, but history has a tendency of repeating itself, or at least rhyming after itself. So, but that should serve as a lesson. If something like this similarly has happened in the past, guess what? It serves as a reminder of what can we do better this time. And one of the things we can definitely do is go seek Jesus. So go into that quiet spot. Pray earnestly, Jesus, help us, and also, Jesus, what would you do? And then follow that along, because we don't change hearts by going harder. We change hearts in the way Jesus did. So don't condone the actions, but understand before you hate. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope that helps, guys. I'll call it there for now, but God bless, and peace, like inner peace, be with you all. Remember, Jesus is Lord. Love you all.